actually makes a more loyal patient. And I love working with parents, parents who have picky kids, because Juice Plus really does make a huge impact on the kids' diet, their health outcomes, and then overall, kids crave more fruits and veggies when they get Juice Plus into their bodies, which is actually scientifically proven. So
Without a
we have
doubt.
more.
So where do they
Go ahead.
reach you at? Where do they reach you at, Michelle?
The best place to reach me is if you want to go to my website, it's lean, Lean, lean and vital, Vital, and the and is spelled out. So leanandvital.com, and just click on contact me. Or you can send me an email. My email address is Michelle at 29fruitsandveggies.com. So either way, I'll get a message from you, and then I will reach out, and we can do a free initial consult to kind of see where you are.
Fantastic, Michelle. Thank you so much. We've run out of time. Once again, thanks for taking the time to meet with us via Zoom. All the best for you and your chapter out there in Dayton, Ohio. For all our viewers here, once again, thank you for taking the time to be with us. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, noon, on the same channel. And enjoy the week. Thanks so much, Houston and the United States.
Thank you.
Sabes que como te ven te tratan. Llevas una vida llena de restricciones. Quieres comer delicioso y sin culpas. La venganza es dulce, sobre todo si no te engorda. Hola, te habla Karen Surrutia de Clean Meal. Me encanta comer delicioso y sobre todo sin culpas. ¿Sufres de diabetes? ¿Eres alérgico al gluten o intolerante a la lactosa? ¿Eres amante a los dulces? Clean Meal lleva a tu casa los postres más ricos y saludables que te puedas imaginar, con los mejores ingredientes, libres de azúcar, de gluten y lactosa, orgánicos y 100% natural, que además están aprobados en la dieta keto. Llénate de energía, enamórate de ti y come sin culpas. Clean Meal, rico y saludable, porque te conviertes en lo que comes.
Hey everybody, this is your business guide, Michael Rager with Teach Your Business to Fish. Man, I'm so glad to be back. As you'll notice today, I'm without my first mate, Andy. Andy, first choice business broker. He's been busy beaver today. He's got to close a business. He's helping somebody, sell a business, and he's helping somebody else buy a business today. So, all this information that we're giving you out there into the universe and through the TV channel here now at Geraldo Media Group, we're giving the information and people are starting to close businesses and sell them. But we're going to come in today, man. We got a great guest today, Mr. Felipe Soares of B2B CFO. And we're going to talk about managing risk, financial risk, and how a CFO can, help you do that versus your CPA. And what are some different things that you need to be looking at? But we're going to talk a little bit, about risk and why risk is something that we need to manage. We can't always eliminate it all, but as a business owner, our job is to minimize risk. I was out with a client of mine last night, and we were running them through a new operating system and how the company is going to operate. And that's what we started talking about. We started talking about the risks and what are the biggest risks to profit in the company. And as we got talking to the team members, we looked at the biggest risk to profit in that business was actually mistakes. It was mistakes made by the team by inputting and outputting customers on what they did. And they weren't collecting money the right way. They'd make a mistake, and they maybe should have been, somebody stayed longer with the product than they were supposed to. And there's a whole bunch of little risks that they're like, oh my gosh, we're looking at this. And just as we were just talking about it last night, man, we're sitting around on the couch. We're kind of done with the session. We did a 4-hour session with them, and they brought out a little Don Julio, and we were kind of sipping a little bit of tequila afterwards. So that's how I do business. So you guys like that. We have a little fun. And we started talking about this, and they just started running numbers in their head. And they're like, we think because of the little mistakes we made last year, it probably cost us $200,000 to $300,000 in profit. And in a small business, $200,000 to $300,000 in profit due to small mistakes is a big thing in minimizing risk. Those of you who might follow me a little bit more on Facebook at Michael Rager, on Facebook, or teachyourbusinesstofish.com, or if you really want to get and know us a little bit better, come on into our Facebook group, Business Owners and Executives That Love to Fish and Hunt. Heard about the story, and I haven't posted it yet. Jonathan back there, he's maybe going to help me edit this. But man, we were out with Mike Stoddard on the Stacy Leanne, and we're trolling, and this fish just comes up and crushes this lure. I mean, just crushes it. We didn't really see what it was. It just made a big explosion. Lure's gone. Zzz, that big 80 wide, those of you fishers, the big, huge reel. I get in the chair, and I'm in the chair for like 40 minutes, and well, what are the risks? The risks of this thing coming up. One of the big risks we have out there, we call him the tax man, is the shark. If we don't get that fish in fast enough, that shark's going to come bite it and take his piece of the fish and take his taxes, we call it out there in the fishermen. But man, I'm in there, and our risk and what caused us to lose the fish was communication. We weren't communicating effectively because I didn't hear Mike tell me he was going to put the boat into neutral, and I pulled up on the fish instead of keep cranking, and what that did is it pulled the rod up. But when the neutral gave him a little slack, I bet you it didn't give him more than a 1/4 inch of slack, but a 1/4 inch of slack, boom, 100-pound plus tuna gone. After 45 minutes, you're working it and beating it and doing all these things that you need to do. So you just got to realize that in your business, there's very big risks, there's very small risks. But especially, Felipe, when we get there, we get talking about this financial stuff, man, it's manageable. It's manageable by understanding the data. And that's what you need to do as a business owner. You got to understand what data is important. And that's why having an expert like Felipe on your team, he's not going to be there every day, but he's going to be there when you need them to interpret this data so you as the business owner can make the right decisions to move forward. And when I'm teaching my business owners, we're not really looking for revenue. Yes, revenue is important, but we're searching for revenue that leads to higher profit margins. It's all about profit margins, and we really want to focus on profit margins, both our gross and net profit margins and how these things move around, and understanding the difference as you're a startup, a balance sheet, how it really shows what we're doing, maybe versus, a P&L statement at that time, and understanding all these things that we need to do. So Jonathan, how many more minutes do you want me to go here in this little, 2 more minutes? Okay, we'll go 2 more minutes on this. But these are the things that we want to be seeing, because I'm going to tell you is business owners don't like the numbers, but in order to be successful, you've got to learn to love the numbers, because the numbers are going to tell you the story of your business. They're going to tell you the long-term story, the short-term story, the what's happening today, what happened last month, how to get there, and how we can project to actually grow the business going forward. And that's what it's all about. And this is why it's going to be important for you guys to really listen to Felipe today, because even though you might have a good CPA, that person may be looking at you and protecting you from tax. And that's great, but is that person helping you grow your business to profit? And that's where it's going to be different to having somebody like Felipe on board that can really help you do that. So this is your Michael Rager, your business guide. We're going to go to our first break. We're going to be back. We're going to have Felipe with us, and we're going to talk about the risks to your business and how understanding your financials can minimize them.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
If you are a real estate agent and are looking for a reliable cleaning company to keep your houses for sale or rental properties impeccable, Sierra Cleaning Services is your solution. With more than 15 years of experience, Sierra Cleaning Services has been the company of reference for real estate agents in the areas of Houston, Katy, Cinco Ranch, Cypress, and the Woodlands. Sierra Cleaning Services include residential, commercial, and office cleaning, window and debris removal during all phases of construction projects, and cleaning homes and offices before and after the tenants move out. Contact Alfredo Sierra at 913-439-8157 today and let Sierra Cleaning Services be your partner in your cleaning project.
Hey, this is your business guide, Michael Rager. We're back with Mr. Felipe Soares of B2B CFO. I should have came here and wore my Costas today, man. Jonathan, you got those you got the sunshine. I should put on a little sunscreen. Give me a little color. I can match my salmon shirt. Because we did come pink. It's not pink, man. It does look pink when I'm looking at it on the TV set.
That's right.
Pink. But I'm secure enough in my masculinity to wear my pink shirt, Jonathan. Are you? If I buy you one of these, you wear them? All right, I love you. All right, Felipe. So, man, tell us a little bit about B2B CFO and what you guys do.
Well, yes, B2B CFO is it's a firm that have their headquarters in Arizona, and it's one of the largest in their kind, offering advisory service to companies. We are about 180 partners all across America in 47 states, and actually one of the largest group of people actually is in Texas and in California.
Yeah, I know a lot of B2B CFO guys here. I know one of them, one of my friends, Michael Bowie. I think he just left and went to.
Correct.
He took another CFO thing there. You know, great guy, the great people. But your company's set up way different than other companies, isn't it? Because you guys almost own a company within a company.
Right. Yeah, we are partners of the company.
Okay.
We are, again, we feel and sense the same things that the business owners. We are business owners as well, so we know what it is about to facing the troubles of running a business. And but as on the contrary, that put us on the edge and the advantage versus other people. It's we are a very supported among partners. So there is among those 180 partners about we say 6,000 years of experience in different fields, and then we cooperate each other with looking for answers, and obviously looking to get the best advice to business owners.
Okay. So we were talking before you came on a little bit, you're from Baltimore, and so that's the Baltimore accent.
That's right.
that we got. But, you got to travel, extensively, through Central South America, Asia, and stuff like that. What was your expertise before you went to B2B?
Well, yes, this is my southern accent, and but yes, I grew up in Venezuela. I have 34 years of experience since I graduated, but I've been before B2B CFO. I started my career with Arthur Andersen.
Okay,
and then obviously I grew up in that consulting side, but then I move on into other business, American Express. I worked for Abbott Labs, Reuters, and then in 2002 I came to Houston and been in the oil patch for 16, 17 years.
Right.
And but
So did you get here after the Enron debacle?
yes, just after.
After?
But, well, yeah, but we were, that was actually a international debacle.
Oh, yeah.
So it
Oh, yeah.
affected everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I was in Arthur Anderson before that. So,
Okay, okay,
I
before-
don't do, yes.
Yeah, because it was funny is when I came here, me and my partner sold our company to a company called Lewis Berger, and my biggest set of clients was the Enron companies. So we did midstream stuff, and it was like, oh man. Like we looked at it as well. We sold at the right time, so we sold to somebody else bought us before that. But I was part of that. Back in the day when there was key people were part of the acquisition. I was that, and it was the knowledge in my head and my. At the time, you younger people don't realize my Rolodex, everybody that I had, and we had a lot of connections, with a company like that, and we did that. So when you were consulting or working for these bigger companies, how is that different than what you're doing now?
Well, it is like when you talk about, in oil and gas, the mega producers. Simply, you hear names that it will resonate on you. You know what you're talking about. So, but never talked about the consequences of the most recent downturn in the oil and gas businesses for small companies. So they've been in trouble for many years, and as well some other businesses. So it is hard to especially for those companies, and that's perhaps the reason why I end up. Making the decision to move into the consulting again, because the satisfaction here is how to help people navigate troubled waters and try to get them to more safe harbors.
With your practice right now and what you're doing, is there any niche of the small business that you specialize in? Are you helping the oil companies? I mean, I imagine that you're helping a wide array of companies, but is there any one type of business that you like to work with or you work best with?
Well, no, really agnostic about type of businesses,
Okay.
But it's in any ways is about help people. That's the ultimate goal for me. It's if I can add value, obviously I'm gonna be there. So
Right.
that's it doesn't matter. It's a nonprofit, could be, or it's manufacturing. Obviously we're in Houston, so there's rare that. Any business has not been touched by the oil and gas crisis or else.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, how Houston's changed. We've both been here about the same amount of time. I moved here in 2001. You said you moved here in 2002. And what was it? Was it 2018 or 2019 when the first time that there were more jobs in medicine than there was in oil and gas in Houston?
Oh, yes.
So oil and gas is all of a sudden not king of Houston anymore.
That's right.
It's kind of an interesting paradigm shift.
Yeah.
And what's going on. And I think it's, some of the things with some of the groups that I run in, we're looking to be more of an energy. I think as we diversify more out of that. So when small businesses are, getting to the point of in trouble, before I started coaching and started coming, I didn't even know what the CFO did. So explain what a CFO does for a company.
Well, a chief financial officer is the way I like to portray it. It's that companion of the business owner or the president or the CEO sitting down on the co-pilot seat. And then when the business owner is driving and looking at what is going on ahead, what's going to be the next turn he's going to make, and then making a decision based on that. I keep looking on the back and keep at the kids, steady, don't making a mess on the back seats.
Right.
So, the reason why I put it this way, because sometimes what happens is we would like to see the business owner, and we believe on the concept of finders, minders, and grinders.
Yeah.
So they got to be looking ahead, looking constantly ahead. But if you're a business owner, if you started your own business, probably you interchange cabs many times. But there's a time when your business is mature enough, you cannot continue doing that because, as you were pointed out earlier, your revenue might continue growing and so forth, but the cash coming in, it's going to be eroding and going down.
Yes.
So, and that's when the situation comes in. And then where is this coming from? Well, because simply you are not assessing correctly what's going on in your business. You're not looking inside what's whether or not you're expending correctly or what.
Yeah, we see that a lot. We were talking to a client of mine the other day, and they deal with a lot of exotic cars, and we have to look at depreciation per day because these cars are only meant to last, a short period of time. How many miles can they get before they start really decreasing in value, and what's that per mile? And they didn't even think about calculating that into, we have my clients do mini P&L statements for everything they do. So if we do a sale, we put together a project. Here's the mini P&L, and we're only looking at some small things. We're looking at revenue, we're looking at COGS, and we're looking at fixed costs. But getting them to break it down, and they were like, "Wow, we didn't really realize we may rent this car for $1,500 a day, but it's going to run 80 miles, and that 80 miles depreciates the value of the car $400." And they're like, they didn't even get that. They knew that it was $5, $6, $7 a mile was the cost to run the car, but they didn't really realize what that did to the P&L. And you're looking at how many business owners, especially if you're looking at small business owners, and my definition of small business is generally 20 million and below. When do you think that small business owners really start to understand financials?
Well, here's the point. It is an educational process. And it depends on the business as well, because it is different from side to side what type of business you're running, and that's and basically that's what triggers exactly what you're going to measure. So we, and I'm not trying to start triggering terms that might be inconsequential for people, but the KPI, normally KPIs
right.
are
KPIs, yep.
But the KPIs are or interpreted as those ratios that are meaningful for your business. But in the rental business that you're talking about might be different from a physician office.
Yes.
So and so forth. So every single business has a different terms and ways to measure how their performance is. So, and that's basically when the business owners has a better control and understanding of their business, key important indexes. So now he understands what needs to be done.
Right. That's the thing that it's really hard is to get business owners to think of what are the key performance indicators that they need to be following and watching. Because a lot of times it's things that make them feel good. Oh, look, my KPIs are great. They're great. But, hey, that really doesn't have any effect on what's going on in the business. Like I said in my intro, one of the things that I love to do is I really want my clients looking at profit. I want them looking at both gross and net profit. And it's really a lot of times it's hard to get them to understand that, and I think some of them don't like me because I make them do math. I actually make them calculate, break even points, because we got to understand that, we have sell so many widgets before we start making money, because we see so many clients that want a discount, and they just don't understanding if you don't have the right profit margins, a 10% discount on something could kill you.
Correct. And another point toward that is in reality, as you pointed out, the return on your investment, because you put capital and you want to know when it's coming back and returning, it's going to be and start making profit. And, that's basically, rather to have it on a bank or under your mattress. You got to figure it out, right? So you got to understand that. And again, the other thing is, it's not about I'm not going to pay taxes. Sooner or later you're going to pay taxes.
Sooner or later you're going to pay.
So it's going to end up your hard-earned dollars are going to be on Uncle Sam's pockets sooner or later. So it's about to be strategic about how you measure your business. Understand how it works.
I see a lot of times that everybody understanding your finances, and they go, well, don't worry, my accountant handles that. And I'm like, well, what's your accountant looking at? And a lot of times the only thing that the business owner is looking at is minimal tax. And here we just gone through the pandemic, and that hurt a lot of business owners, because when they went to go get PPP money, and they didn't make any money the last 3 years, according to their accountant, and they had to go reverse their financials and renew them to show that they really did make money, so they could actually qualify for some of this money. So it's not really bad to make money, is it?
No. No, it's absolutely not. But yes, it is simply a how do you put your spyglass on your business,
right?
And obviously, you need to isolate these different circumstances that your business being affected for,
right?
So, and then but try to see what can you replicate that in time,
right?
And how the situation or the outside environment is affecting it. So question for the business owner then perhaps is where you have that experience is about how often they are reviewing their strength,
right,
their opportunities, and how to translate it, what the changes need to do in order to continuing, through that, a bumpy road.
Yeah, we just did, I got a couple groups that I do training with, and one of the trainings this week was on SWOT analysis. And it's interesting to get people to understand that threats can actually be opportunities if you look at them the right way, and your opportunities can actually be threats if you're not looking at them the right way, and going there and bringing the right people, in to talk to, that's where having somebody with your experience on this can really help. So on a growth stage of it, Jonathan, before I go into this question, this is gonna be a deep one. Before I go into this question, how much time do I have? Oh, okay, we got enough time this one. Okay, so I'm a business owner and I'm chugging along. I say I own a small manufacturing company, and we're doing $1 million a year, and we've got everything going. We think we're starting to get some growth, and we're looking at our accountant for everything. When should me as the business owner start saying, okay, I need more advice than my accountant can give me? Okay.
Yes, I advise that, and that's why, and this is part of our, our philosophy. We believe that every single company, regardless of its size, needs a chief financial officer.
Okay.
So that's the reasons why is because you don't want to go to, you want, preventive medicines. Mm-hmm. You don't want to go to the doctor once you're really in pain, right? So that's one thing. The second thing is, to what extent do you recognize that it's more important to grow your business rather than trying to look at the rear mirror?
Right.
So, and then in reality is, it's nowadays, obviously, the pandemic created a new, perhaps, ways to approach things. So, or no ways, it's just simply, probably it's a war economy and sort of, to put it on very harsh terms. But do you think that your business, if you want to continue growing in the same pattern or, ratios and that, prior to pandemic, so what you need to do? So you need to start thinking strategically how to move forward to that.
Right.
So those are goals that there's only the business owner, the ones that can put in there. So now you got to set up scenarios.
Yeah.
What's the model you're going to use? So that now in the past, probably you were following trends. Now there is no trends to follow, right? So that's
yeah, it's the trends have moved a little bit, and they're a little bit, I'd say, not as predictable as they were before. And the interesting thing is going to be over the next year or two is to see, do we go back to the trends, or are things totally different? And and that's really going to be, I think, is going to be industry specific. You know, some are going to go right back to the way they were. You know, I'm seeing it right now. The restaurants and bar industry, you know, now that they're open back up, I got a couple friends that own bars, and they said they're busier than they've ever been, and they're having issues getting staff. You know, our staff's making money hand over fist, but they hear this other bar down the street, they're getting tipped higher, and they're just jumping and going all over the place, and that's an issue. And you know, these are the things that we've got to look at, because something I want to cover in our next segment is risk. You know, because you start looking at these trends, you look at opportunities, you look at threats, but we can't avoid them all.
No.
No.
You cannot avoid them, and that perhaps is the most important portion of what risks are. You need to see and understand what the risks are coming and how you prepare for those ahead.
Right.
Because, you know, if you don't have the vision of what's going to be the potential downturns, you're not going to be prepared when they come in front of you.
Right. And it's something, you know, we were talking with Lee Winkleman on another episode, and, you know, as a lawyer, you know, his job is to prevent risk, and his job is to prevent and minimize legal risk. Your job, CFO, is to minimize and prevent, you know, financial risk. Yeah. You know, and this is where, you know, as I'll use our fishing boat analogy, is, you know, we need the captain, we need the crew, we need the mate, we need the angler. Everybody's got their job, and you know, as a business owner, it's hard to hire a chief financial officer because it'd be expensive. But that's where bringing in somebody like you that's fractional, you're in as needed, and kind of helps it. So how does being fractional, you know, help that business owner that's growing?
Well, you know, it is, besides to being fractional, I would like to add that each of us partners with B2B CFO have actually a very large and experience, you know, not only on the business side, economical, accounting, but on the business as in general, which actually help us, you know, only to understand the pains that the business owner is going through. So, and translate that into the language of numbers, which is basically looking at, you know, how it's affecting the financial statements, how to mitigate those risks, and how to make those, you know, corrections if they need it, or obviously to assume, you know, what needs to be done in the future.
Yeah, well, awesome. Well, we're going to get ready to go to break here. So, you know, check out Felipe, B2B CFO. Make sure you guys go out and check us out. If you haven't recently, go out and check us out on Teach Your Business to Fish. tyb2f.com is our other website. michaelrager.com. You get to find me all over the place. It's amazing. My son puts my camera on me, and he just looks at it. I know you guys haven't seen him in a while, but we'll get him back on here. I got a 10-year-old that's got his own company already. So, all right, everybody. This is Michael Rager, your business guide. We'll be back in just a minute.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Hi, this is Alberto Tudela. The Houston metro area has experienced a substantial increase of wind and hail damage, flooding, and other perils in the last 5 years. Now more than ever, it is critical and essential to ensure your company, your property, as well as your family have the right insurance coverage. Tudela Insurance Solutions offers a wide variety of insurance for home, auto, property, as well as life insurance. My goal is to find a tailored option that guarantees the right coverage at the right price, specific to your needs, present and future, so you protect what matters the most. Call me today at 713-714-4475 and allow our team at Tudela Insurance Solutions to make sure you're protected. Accidents never happen when we expect them. Now is the time to ensure you have peace of mind.
Hi, this is Scarlett Horton. You may remember me from the morning news. We know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming, and if not done right, a painting project can easily go over your budget. At CertaPro Painters of Central Houston, our professionals will ensure your residential or commercial painting projects run smoothly and are convenient for your schedule, leaving you time for what matters most. CertaPro of Central Houston has been serving the Houston metro area for more than a decade and has a solid reputation. You can read reviews from our clients and see examples of our work on our social media pages, letters of recommendation, website, and Google reviews. Additionally, at CertaPro Painters of Central Houston, we warranty our work for 2 years. We offer free color consultation. We do residential and commercial jobs, interior and exterior, and we are licensed and insured. Not to mention, we are experts in painting cabinets. CertaPro is the largest painting contractor in the USA. Our crews are not only qualified and skilled painters, they are the best at what they do, and we are always on time. Let our experts at CertaPro of Central Houston transform your home and business. Our proven process gives you more time to enjoy moments that matter in the spaces you love. Alfredo, Mallory, and John are experienced professionals who will work with you every step of the way to ensure a flawless finish. Call us today at 713-824-5166 and let CertaPro of Central Houston handle with ease, efficiency, and high professionalism your next residential and commercial painting project, because the world needs color.
Hey, this is your business guide, Michael Rager. We're back with Teach Your Business to Fish. We got Mr. Felipe Suarez and Mr. Jonathan over there. Give me the 3-second warning. I think he loves that because he just wants to see what's going to happen when he turns the camera back on and what kind of stupid things we're saying behind the scenes. I know he did it, it was a couple episodes ago, and we had a guy, Hurt Porter, on, and we were talking Bitcoin, but Andy, who's not here, our first mate, and we started laughing so hard, and he turned the camera on, and none of us could talk for about 30 seconds. So that's good. That's a very interesting episode. If you haven't seen it, I think you should go check that one out. All right, Felipe. So we're talking about businesses and growing and doing these things. What's the difference between a fractional, somebody fractional like you coming in versus somebody that actually hires a CFO, and why should businesses look at one versus the other?
Well, obviously a fractional or a CFO to understand it's going to be somebody with more than 25 years of experience and different aspect of the business and that is going to be cost. It's gonna cost somebody because you're gonna put it on the payroll. It's gonna be expensive.
Your 35, 40 years of experience isn't cheap.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be. Well, it's gonna be hefty on your on the check, right? So but say when you hire somebody or have the opportunity to have an advisor, a strategic advisor, that help you and navigate with you all situations, but very laser focus on those things that have been identified through an interview, what we call the discovery analysis. And then you minimize that cost to a minimum expression.
Right.
But more important point is you identify what you are really needing. So you need something to be addressed, and that's going to be basically at the value that you're going to get from that is it will be very well rewarded.
Yeah. So it's really based on need. Yeah. And somebody with your experience, you can come in and identify, here, these are the key things you together. You're going to be able to put the reports together. Or do you train them on how to do it? Do you do it? Or is it a combination? Or how does that work sometimes?
Yeah, well, a company that currently, well-established company is going to be running somehow with some administrative resources. So, and what I can and normally do is go and learn about their business and interview the people and see what can be improved,
Right.
what needs to be speed up, and make the recommendation and actually follow up on those recommendations that needs to be addressed.
Right. So you're coming in. Sometimes you're coming in as a consultant and helping them do stuff.
No.
Sometimes you're coming in as a coach and telling them what to do, or guiding them around the right path and making that happen. So what made you decide that I'm going to go leave corporate America and come into this, business ownership?
Well, in reality, I started at feeling that there's another step on my life that I needed to step on, which is basically to give back.
Right.
So it's just, the way that I give back, it's, put it in, to the disposal of people and businesses, my knowledge. And then, and obviously it's rewarding. I got, the reward of seeing somebody that started a business from scratch and going through difficult times and help them to get back on the rail. So that's just totally rewarding. It's a combination of how do I accomplish, but besides that, it's also a very rewarding because I got a new friend. So and then we build up a relationship. But that's what it's all about.
So since you've done business both domestically and internationally, how does it differ? How do things differ in the United States compared to Central and South America when it comes to running a business?
Well,
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to preface this. The reason I ask, if you notice, it says Geraldo Media Group, and there's a lot of people south of the border that are watching us that actually want to come to the U.S. and do business. So, I'm hoping you can give a little perspective on some of the differences.
Well, yes. I mean, it's all across the board. I have clients in Kentucky and in Alabama. So, I mean, doing business in Texas, totally different. So, I mean, but when you start crossing the Rio Grande, it's actually gets more difficult to, because you got to adapt to the cultures.
Right.
So I have been blessed to being exposed to different part of the world, and then and adapting to those different cultures help you to be successful. And that's, yes, in Mexico, Central America, South America, doing business is a little bit more personal. It takes more relationships. It's about to, have a bond and more create that, interaction that actually create the trust and build the trust. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in the state, but those dimensions change, and in the buckets of trust get and more in demand on the down south of the Rio Grande.
Okay, now it's really interesting to know and look at that, because Andy and I and Juan, who runs stuff here at Now Media TV, we've been talking about there's a lot of companies or a lot of individuals that would like to come to the U.S. They have the money to start businesses, and Andy, partner is a business broker, so he's got businesses that are for sale. And, it's been very interesting that we're trying to put together a system to the people that want it, that qualify, that go follow the steps, come in, buy a business, and we start coaching them on how to run the business, here in the U.S. and the differences. And I agree with you. I think it's very regional in the U.S. You can't run a business in New York the same way you do in Texas. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
No, not at all. I remember one of my early sales mentors, and I got to meet him a couple times. You know, one of the guys I met, you know, just reading his books was Jeffrey Gitomer. He's a big sales guy, and he was telling me the story one day how he cut his teeth in New York selling textiles, and it's very cutthroat. It is relational building, but it's, you know, and then he moved to North Carolina. He goes, you know, here I go on this fast talking New Yorker, now have to sit down and sip sweet tea with, you know, and build a different type of relationship in North Carolina. You know, it's totally different. So as a CFO, you know, I go in, when I look at businesses, I look at 6 things, okay? I look at strategy, both long and short term, look at sales and marketing, you know, look at the finances. We look at operations, we look at systems and technologies, and we look at people. As the CFO, how do you start seeing, you know, issues occurring in those other 5, as we call them 6 cylinders? So you're really focusing on the financial cylinder, but how do the other cylinders start affecting that financial cylinder, and how do you see it because of your skill set?
Well, it's the most important thing is to understand the business cycles. Yeah, how generates revenue, how the company is executing their plans, ambition, and mission, and but besides that, then how the controls, and this is more, it's exactly precisely to where you're pointing into the financial world or accounting world. How is the company set up control to reward the one way the execution of the programs, and but also how to keep control of their assets, and there's no risk, or minimize the risk that those assets are going to be impacted. So, and that is nowadays is the risk can be not only from the financial side, but could be cybersecurity, or how are they set up in terms of their corporate responsibility. And then sometimes because the world is changing, so CSG, so you know, how to integrate the society and the responsibility, how to be part of these you know, changing world, and that's it will make changes, you know, in your doing business.
Yeah, it's I've always told my clients that the numbers in the business tell the story of how the rest of the business is functioning, and we can tell if sales and marketing isn't working. Yeah, we can tell if our people are not happy. We can tell if we don't have the right systems and processes in place based on the numbers, because we should be able to go in there and look at it. Well, we got about a minute left, Jonathan. 1 minute. All right, man. We're going to wrap up this segment. So you guys got to go check out Felipe. How do they find you?
Well, it could be through the website. It's www.b2bcfo.com/Felipe-Suarez.
Okay.
And my email is Felipe Suarez, one word, at b2bcfo.com. And by phone, 251-229-0651.
I know. When I tried to call you, I got that number, and I told you, man, I got somebody else answered.
Yeah.
It was funny. It cracked me up. I'm like, wait, Felipe, that's 251. Where is that?
Yeah, that's my legacy from living in 3 years in Alabama. So
we'll have to come back and talk about the difference of Alabama and Houston. So this is Michael Razor, your business guide. We'll be back in just a minute.
COVID-19 transformed the way we do business. Now more than ever, fast lead generation and customer retention will determine if a business survives or not. The Now Media Video Business Card is designed to be sent using your smartphone. It's the next generation business card that will open the door for you while keeping social distancing. The Now Media Video Business Card is affordable for anyone from startups to multinational companies and is already being used by hundreds of businesses. Stay open, stay in business. Call us today.
Did you know that children and adults are spending 90% of their time indoors? Whether at home or at the office, structures are now built tighter and more energy efficient, creating toxic environments.
Indoor pollution is 2 to 5 times worse than outdoors. Childhood asthma has increased 600% in the last 30 years. According to the EPA, there are over 750,000 new asthma cases every year in the United States.
Poor air quality can cause headaches, snoring, fatigue, sneezing, coughing, severe allergies, and much more. Additionally, chemical pollution from cleaning products such as bleach or Lysol and also treated building materials can severely affect your health.
Tactico is an indoor air quality company that focuses on health and wellness by using revolutionary technology to clear the air of toxic indoor pollution.
Our cutting-edge, green-certified solutions remove all odors, allergens, viruses, mold, toxic chemicals, and insects to create healthy homes and workplaces. Within minutes, our military-grade products kill 99.9999% of all toxins. Our team is highly experienced and is comprised of military veterans whose mission is to provide excellent customer service to our clients. Because your safety and your health are important to us. Call Tactico today, 832-901-9979, and let us create a healthy environment so that you and your family can live pollution-free.
Boom, we're back. This is Michael Rager, your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. We're back with our last segment with Mr. Felipe Suarez. So, Felipe, let's go off of business right now. I don't want to talk business anymore. You know, we met smoking cigars and drinking whiskey and scotch. You got into business for yourself, left corporate America. You wanted to help, but what do you do for fun? I mean, we all get into business to do something else. You know, we want to do fun stuff.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things that, yes, not to talk about business, but the idea also to jump into, these B2B CFO is also helping people that they got time to do what they like to do.
Right.
I guess through the last 25 years in corporate America, probably I burned, especially on the Arthur Andersen, obviously burns too many bridges, and then, almost divorced and everything, because simply, couldn't return home after 12, 13 hours working. But yes, I'm trying to play golf if it's possible, if it's golf not playing me. So, and I've been in martial arts for 30 years.
Really?
I would say, yes.
Wow.
Which is actually a great lesson of business, because one of this is, you don't fear about what's in front of you. You learn how to handle it. That's what your business owner needs to do.
No, it cracks me up, because I've had 2 CFOs on this show, and both you guys are into martial arts. So there's some underlying theme that's going on with CFOs and martial arts, and secretly want to be ninjas. I don't know what's going on there, but it's funny. Golf, man. I'm telling you, man, we go out, but fishing is our big passion, and that's Andy and I, we go fishing all the time. We're actually supposed to go today, but it's supposed to be really rough out there, and sitting around for 30 hours in 6-foot seas is not nice. But man, golf, my 10-year-old's getting into it right now, and the thing is he doesn't. I don't think he experiences the pain of golf as us as adults do. I don't play enough to be good, but I hit that one good shot around that makes me want to come back and spend more money, Yeah. So how did you, how do you, help your business owners enjoy it? Because I look at owning a business as, hopefully to give us freedom. But like you said, when we work with corporate America, sometimes we work 12, 13, 14 hours a day. When we get into our own business, we think we need to work 14, 15, 16, 17 hours a day. We forget we're building something that works without us and go from there. So how do you really push your business owners to understand that you work with?
Well, and it's perhaps the proposition that I put in front of them. It's about free time for them. So, and because as you asked before, if there's anything that motivates you to wake up in the morning. So it could be not, well, I mean, this is a hobby, we're talking about hobby, but it could be family, could be, you know, something else. I mean, it's about to, you know, usually have a, your set up your agenda, try to and achieve, you know, and dedicate time to whatever you like the most. And if it's obviously cannot be obviously business all the time.
No, it can. I know one of the guys that I follow a lot, a guy named Brad Sugars. I got mad at him last week because I was last Friday. I was driving and he does this. He gets in his Ferrari or whatever he's got, and he's got his camera up and he does as I drive to work talk. And I do something called the tackle box, where I get in and do it live and go in. And I was going to talk about how people right now are talking about they need to be, you know, grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. And Brad talked about the same thing that day. I'm like, oh man, come on, dude. You know, were you reading my mind or what happened? But I see this all the time. I see the people that are going out and grinding, they're working 15, 16, 17 hours a day. But I find out that 90% of that time is on the wrong stuff. They could cut that back to 6-7 hours and be way more effective. You know, don't you see that?
Yes, no, absolutely. It must be a balance. You need to find your balance. It's not work for everybody. I mean, my time and your time might be different, utilized and more effective. But definitely you need to relieve some pressure.
Okay, we got 2 minutes left. One tip. What are you gonna give them?
Well, nowadays, it's obviously, you know, part of the lesson from the martial arts. It's, you know, if you fall, you want to stand up again, and you're ready to learn more. But every day is going to be tougher, but you succeeded the past day, so you'll continue doing the things that you like the most.
Oh man, well, I appreciate you sharing, man. It's been so great having you on today. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing you at one of the next cigar events. I didn't see you at the last one that was down this way. You know, I got to drive all the way up north to go see you. I see how it is. All right, everybody, this is Michael Rager, your business guide. Remember, go follow us and on Facebook at Teach Your Business to Fish. If you're a business owner that loves to fish and hunt, join our Facebook group, Business Owners That Love to Fish and Hunt. Follow everybody here on Geraldo Media. Go check us out at nonmediatv.com/fish, and we're going to see you. We're out of here. Jonathan, bye.
Hoy más que nunca, el tener un buen crédito es indispensable para triunfar en este país. Desde conseguir un mejor trabajo hasta tener acceso a fondos para la compra de tu casa o financiar un negocio. Hola, les saluda Paula Corredor, experta en restauración de crédito. El tener un mal crédito o mejorar el que tú ya tienes es algo que podemos lograr exitosamente, abriendo las puertas a la estabilidad financiera en este país. Permíteme ser parte de tu éxito. Llámame hoy al 786-287-3955 para un análisis de tu crédito de manera gratuita. Juntos tomemos el primer paso hacia el futuro sólido en los Estados Unidos.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
I'm here to take you to a new frontier, the final frontier. In fact, you and I are going where no one has gone before. I'm Glenn Henderson, entrepreneur, success coach, and musician,